When we think about what makes for powerful communication, our minds usually jump to the words, right? Finding that perfect phrase or making a killer argument. But what if the most powerful tool you have isn't a sound at all? What if it's the silence between the sounds? Today, we're diving into the incredible, often overlooked power of the pause.
And Mark Twain, he absolutely nailed it with this one. A good word can be effective, of course, but a perfectly timed moment of silence, wow, that can completely change the gravity and the emotional weight of everything you're saying. It's the punctuation of our speech, and honestly, learning to use it is a total game changer.
So if silence is so incredibly powerful, why are we so terrified of it? It's like we're programmed to rush in and fill every single empty moment with sound. This brings us to one of the biggest myths in communication, this idea that every single second needs to be filled with noise. Just look at the two sides of this coin. On one side, you've got filled silence. This is where we lean on all those crutches like, and it just screams nervousness. But on the other side, you've got strategic silence. This is a deliberate, confident choice, and it signals authority. It gives your words the breathing room they need to really, truly land with impact.
So why do we do it? Well, it really just comes down to habit. A deeply ingrained habit from our everyday conversations. See, in a normal back and forth, a pause is a cue, right? It's an invitation for the other person to jump in and speak. So we have this instinct. We're afraid that if we stop talking, someone will cut us off or think we've lost our train of thought. But here's the thing. When you're presenting, the floor is yours. That old instinct, it just doesn't serve you anymore.
Okay, so let's completely reframe this. Let's stop thinking of silence as an absence of sound. It's not. It's an active, powerful tool. A strategic pause isn't just empty space. It's a moment that is actively doing some really important work for you.
In fact, a pause has three main jobs. First, and this is a big one, it replaces all those filler words. Instead of saying, you just pause. Simple. Second, it acts like a verbal highlighter. It tells your audience, hey, pay attention. Something important is coming. And third, it gives your audience time to process what you just said. I mean, you can't just fire hose information at people. You have to give their minds a second to catch up and really absorb it. And this isn't just some gut feeling or a neat theory. It's actually backed by neuroscience. A study from USC discovered that our brains literally work better when there are pauses in a conversation. Silence actually prevents cognitive overload and improves understanding. The bottom line is simple. Pausing makes you a more effective communicator, right down to the biological level. How cool is that?
And believe it or not, the benefits just keep stacking up. A thoughtful pause builds trust because it signals that you're being sincere. It allows real, authentic emotion to shine through, instead of everything feeling rushed. It even gives you, the speaker, a split second for your brain to catch up with your mouth. All of this comes together to create this calm, confident presence that just draws people in.
All right, we've talked a lot about the why. Now let's get into the good stuff, the how. Consider this your practical toolkit for silence, and it's built on 3 essential types of pauses that you can start using, well, right away.
First up, we have the transition pause. It's pretty quick, maybe a second long, and you use it to create a clean break between different ideas. Next is the emphasis pause. This is a quick beat right before and after a word you really want to highlight. It's basically like putting that one word in bold. And finally, the dramatic pause. This is the heavy hitter. This one builds tension and anticipation. It makes the audience physically lean in, waiting for what you're going to say next.
So we have the theory and we have the tools. But look, none of this matters if you don't actually do it. Knowledge without action is pretty useless. This last part is all about putting this into practice and making this transformation real for you.
So here's what I want you to try. It's a simple but incredibly powerful challenge. The very next time someone asks you a tough question, resist that urge to jump in and answer right away. Instead, I want you to make eye contact, take a small breath, and silently count in your head. 1, 2, 3. Now, it's going to feel like an eternity to you, but to them, you're going to look composed, thoughtful, and in complete control.
In the end, it really all boils down to this choice. For most people, silence feels like this awkward void, a sign of weakness that they have to fill at all costs. But for you, with just a simple shift in perspective, it can become your greatest asset. It's the difference between just being heard and actually being felt.
True power in communication isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about mastering the quiet moments. You see, that silence, it is an empty space. It's where confidence is built.
It's where messages truly land, and it's where influence is won. Silence is your superpower.